Hello YouTube. This is a video I took back in this is July 16th of 2025, showing off how my cousin had left the house. He had bailed on me. This is how he had left the house, and I had paid him in full in May. And he said, after I paid him, he said it would be done soon. Obviously, that's not the case, but by now the house is done, it's finished. I'm just struggle busing with the paying the bills and stuff of like the HELOC loan and the debt consolidation. I am fine with like my lights and stuff and groceries, but this is why I eventually broke down and made a GoFundMe just to try to get some money to help pay this off. So join me in 2025 rambling about my cousin and trying to be super professional. I'm not saying he's a scumbag, but he's doing scumbag behavior. Okay, so this is how the house looks now. That's my step stool. That's my scaffolding. But this is how the house was left, roughly. That paint is mine. I bought it. That sprayer is mine. There's nothing in here that is his that I know of. Oh, there's a bucket of mud apparently, but whatever. Cabinets are not done. Dishwasher and sink is not hooked up. There's no hole in the sink or hole for the counter. That's not connected. The hood thing is not connected for the stove. Laundry room hasn't even been touched. They're just using it for storage. I moved that washer because it started leaking when I was trying to do some laundry. There's the rest of the cabinetry. There is no window trim, window seal on any of the windows. There's no door trim. There's no baseboards. There's supposed to be a ceiling fan there. There you can see where the gaps are for the mud and stuff. I'm not sure who he had doing the mud, but apparently it was really bad. There's mud that needs to be done here. I might have someone redo that because it's so bad. Most of the outlets and light switches need to be covered. The vents need to be covered. The furnace door needs to be put back on. All of the doors need to be put back on, except for this door. I did the painting in here. I guess he put some of the light covers on, or outlet covers. I don't even know if this closet is done. There's a gap right there. There's a hole right there. I don't even know if this is done. But the flooring needs to be put in. It's just this LP flooring. The drywall needs to be sanded right here in the corner. Otherwise, everything else is primed. That light fixture needs to be changed. Door installed here. The vanity needs to be installed with the sink. Otherwise, everything else is all right. The shower leaks a little bit, like when I turn it on. When I turn it on, it works. And then you shut it off. It is slow to turn off. I'm not sure how that. And then sometimes the shower head will drip water. Also, right here, the bathroom exhaust fan needs to be installed. I did the paint in here. I did this little drywall whatever on the ceiling and then decided, oh well, it's too much of a hassle, I'll just paint over it. This is my daughter's room. The door needs to be put on. Carpet needs to be put on. All of the drywall needs to be sanded. And then up there along the ceiling, I think mud needs to be put down. All of the outlets need to be put in or pushed in and covered. He left a step ladder here. Oh well, it's mine now. This needs to be mudded. Yeah, this needs to be mudded and sanded. Like, I guess he started and then he got bored or something. I don't know what that's going on. And then the light fixture, that can stay because it's in a closet. There's no doors on any of the closets because I just didn't want to spend money on doors. Windows need to be trimmed and everything. Baseboards along here, of course. And there's carpet in this hallway all the way up to there. Baseboards in here, windowsill. The vanity needs to be moved into the bathroom. This needs to be fixed because look at that. That's shit. That shit up there too. And that looks like shit. That looks like it was just plastered on. I don't know what's going on. Here, more mud, sanded. Fix the light fixture, put it back in. Don't need to be fancy because it's in a closet. There's no door to this closet because, again, I didn't want to spend money on the door. There is no door to this bathroom. Drywall still needs to be sanded right here. That needs to be fixed. Drywall needs to be sanded. I kind of tried to fix this, make it look a little bit nicer, because otherwise it looked like this. There was like pits in it or bubbles from the corner. I don't know if the shower works or not. The shower head needs to be put on. Probably needs to be sanded or sealed. I don't know. I'm not a plumber. Baseboards, vent. The rest of the subflooring put in. Tub installed. Vanity goes right there. Window. That needs to be replaced. I have everything. The bathroom exhaust fan. And this needs to go in the corner. I don't know if he left everything for it. There's 2x4s and stuff outside for this. I don't know if they're rotting or whatever. I don't know if the subfloor needs to be replaced. Both bathrooms had black mold in them over the 30 years. I'm pretty sure all of this right here down from the window is sanded. I'm not sure by the corners or whatever. Well, that's not sanded, but that needs to be done. And baseboards. I'm not sure if I said that. Light covers. I can't remember what this is, but it's something. I think that's it. Oh, and trim and baseboards, fixing everything. This was supposed to be done the first week of April. That's what he said. He didn't actually start getting into the house and demoing it until like, ew. Well, that's fun. That's my daughter. But, God damn it. It looks like she tried to clean it up. I don't know. Light fixtures need to be changed. Yeah, he didn't start demoing until, I want to say, like March 25th or 28th. I don't know. He had another job that he needed to finish. And then he had a funeral to go to. I don't know if he went to the funeral or not. I'm not going to fault him for that. And then most of the building materials arrived by April 1st. So there is no reason for him to have not had it done more. He said that he had 5 people to show up, and then they all just quit, or they didn't want to work, or one showed up high. I don't know. And then May 8th is when I went and started staying with my mom because I ran out of money for hotels. He made it seem like, I think it was like May 5th I paid him the last and final payment because he said his truck was going to get repossessed and they would be done shortly. It is now like, what is it? It's like July 16th, and it has been like this. The house has been in this condition since like the middle of June. He might have put the carpet in like from the garage, like pretend to do something. But before I started my job, I was here almost every day. He never showed up. I had to hook up the fridge because I think around May 5th or something, he said it was going to be move-in ready when we didn't have the countertops. But I had to hook up the fridge and install it. This house was like, I can't have my daughter here. But yeah, this is what my cousin left me. Granted, I did the painting. I did the priming because we didn't discuss that. May 8th or around that time, he said he would give me $500 cash back. I have not received that. I want to say June 27th or so, I came over just to see how he was doing. I noticed all of his tools were gone, and I was like, that's odd, because like all of them were gone. I asked him, he said he needed it for another job. When I think it was June 17th, he said he was in a car accident. And then I made it very clear that it needed to be done July 1st, or he could just get his tools. I guess he chose to just get his tools and just leave the state, because apparently he's in Florida now. The screen door needs to be installed as well. There's caulking that needs to be done outside on the siding because there's a big, huge ass gap where siding should be, and the house numbers need to be put on. I don't know what else needs to be done out there. Then I think it was June 30th, I asked, hey, were you injured in the car accident? And he said he was, and that he had a ruptured spleen, and he was pooping, pissing, vomiting blood. I don't know how long he was in the hospital. He said his platelets were super low and everything, and he's sorry, just to find someone else to do it. Over the course of time, he said that it should cost no more than $5 or $6 grand to finish all of this. I had a contractor come in here to draw up a bid. He said he couldn't do it for $5 or $6 grand. He said there's a lot of work left. I even had one contractor flat out tell me no, that he wouldn't do it. Or he didn't say he wouldn't do it, but he said we'll keep in touch, because I don't think he wanted to actually come out here and look at it. I don't know. It just sounded to me like he didn't want to come out and at least look at it. The laundry room still needs to be redone. I think it's just flooring and maybe drywall if it needs to be fixed. And the subfloor. Like, it's almost done, but it's not. And what ticks me off the most is I chose this corner beading or whatever the hell it's called. I chose this because he said he didn't care, or it didn't matter what to get, but so I got it. I thought you just screw it on. No, you needed adhesive. And I don't think he primed I honestly don't think he primed the drywall properly. So that's why it's bubbling and stuff. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know his thought process. I just know he collected all his tools and he went to Florida. And one contractor said he would do it, or he would put in a bid, but he would not accept any money from this guy because he doesn't expect to be paid. Because apparently that's his thing. And the more I think about it, maybe that's why everybody quit, because nobody got paid. Even his half-brother said that he was worried about being paid. So there's that. But that's all that really needs to be done. It doesn't seem like a lot of work, but it is. Like, if you had a crew of like 5 people, you could probably knock it out in a couple of days. But if it's just one person, 1 or 2 people, and then he made it seem like he was doing us a great service by just being here with 2 people, when it takes a full crew to build a whole house a couple months, or like 3 or 4 months. I've been to Georgia in my development, and they knocked out a house in maybe a month and a half. Now, granted, I don't know the quality of that work, but 2 months tops. They had the foundation laid, they had the whatever they're called, the studs and the walls and crap up. And then they were in there doing it. But they also probably had like 30 or 40 people working on those houses. Anyways, that's what's going on with my house. I also want to point out that towards the middle of April, I started driving from my hotel room down here. Almost not every night, but like every other night, just to see the progress that he had done. And most, like, for the longest time, nothing had been done. I'll have to look up some pictures and stuff, but like, it took him forever to get the cabinets out. I don't know how demo works, but it just seems like he would show up and then he would get a phone call and then he would leave. Even his half-brother said that he didn't show up half the time and he was just stuck there by himself. Like, neither of these guys have a reason to lie to me, but yet they do. That way they don't look bad. But, yeah. I will say it was cleaner before we started priming and stuff. Also, my brother-in-law went around and sanded this whole living room kitchen area before we primed because it was still kind of shitty. It was shitty up here. It was really bad. So that's where all the dust is from. That hasn't been cleaned up because why bother? But yeah. Also, that light fixture right there is supposed to be capped or whatever eventually. But I might just put another light. I might just put another ceiling fan. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. There's no light switch to it though. So there's that. Which, to be honest, it might be an issue because they removed the light switch. There used to be a wall right where the fridge was. But who knows? Just never hire your family to do anything for you without like looking into them, because I just trusted him. I shouldn't have. Since his sister left the house in such a deplorable state before the renovation, I shouldn't have trusted him. I should have just went with someone else. But, oh well, live, laugh, learn, right? Here's some just before pictures. The house was not in great condition. It is a manufactured home built in like 1994, 1995. My other cousin left it in deplorable conditions, chewed up drywall, holes in drywall, animal feces stuck in the floor, animal urine soaked down to the subfloors. We're not going to get too much into that, but this is before. I also asked my cousin, the contractor, if he wanted me to remove all of this, like the beds, the bed framing, anything. He said, no, just leave it. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. So that's what we left. Like anything I didn't want, I left. I just left it because he told me to. Coming up, there will be some demo pictures. The first one he took, the second one I took. This picture was from like early April. This picture is from the 23rd of April. I took these pictures the 23rd of April at night when he wasn't there because I was quoted the first week of April. Everything would be done. I'd be able to move in. It would only take him 2 weeks to demo the whole house and then redo everything. I was quoted we would start the beginning of March and I would be able to move back in towards like the first week of April. At no point in time did he actually communicate that he would be starting soon. He did have a friend that died in early March, so I don't blame him for not starting, but he never said, hey, I'm going to start. Hey, I'm going to go to the funeral. There was the lack of communication was appalling. He didn't tell me anything. He just kind of showed up whenever he wanted. He didn't even and the stuff that's being shown right now, or that was shown previously, that took him 12 weeks to do. There was only 2 people working, him and his brother. That took him 12 weeks. But if you're not there at all, I can see how it would take 12 weeks. Next up, we have the invoices that he sent me. I feel like he didn't charge me as much as he normally would have, but also the work he did was not worth as much as I paid for. I also blocked my last name, and I'm going to block his company name out because we don't need the drama of, oh, you leaked my name. What I paid for is still a lot of money. For me, I don't know about anyone else, but that's still a lot of money. But it was the whole entire house, which I think is low considering it's the whole entire house down to the studs and the floor trusses. And this isn't even including the materials I had to buy, which is probably about half of a payment. So thankfully I was able to sell the house in Georgia, and I have 0 money left from that because I had to pay him for, he did the outside of my house, the siding and the roof and the windows. He did the interior. Thankfully he finished the exterior, but he didn't like seal them. So eventually, I think it was like when we had a really bad rainstorm, he came and sealed them because I noticed that my furnace there was like water leaking. So I was really upset because I was about ready to just crawl on the roof and seal it myself. Anyway, yeah, so I had to find a second contractor. The second contractor, I want to say, he either overcharged me or he charged me what he thought was appropriate for this project. He didn't know what to do. He wanted to do a good job, and the only way that he could do a good job is by going back and redoing some stuff. Like 33% of the drywall had to be redone. His drywall guys came out and they redid the whole bathroom drywall in the master bath. They did the closet as well. This is what the new contractor was able to do. He actually had me put paper down so the floor wouldn't get all scuffed up. He hung the cabinets. He also made sure that the cabinets were level. He made sure that he could do everything to the best of his ability. Uh, did he leave some dings in the drywall and have the guys paint over it? Yes, but like at this point, it's like I just want to get in my house. It doesn't have to be perfect. Um, it he did what he could with what was there. He also didn't know how to install my cabinets because these are from Menards and he's used to custom built cabinets. So I'm still going to have to probably tweak them a little bit, but you know what? It's fine. Oh, fun fact, I also had to buy new countertops because my cousin he didn't level the cabinets properly. And so I had to get new countertops because the template was wrong. Also, the second contractor showed me that most of the walls weren't plumb, like they were off just a slight bit. So whoever did the walls, my cousin, because he was in charge, I think he had like two people doing drywall, and both of them were crap and didn't know how to do drywall, and he was never there to supervise them. Not only did they redo the master bath and the drywall in my closet, they redid the drywall in the one room where there was that huge gap. They redid all the drywall in my daughter's room because this blue room right here. They redid all the drywall there. Um, this is the second contractor's painters, and they did the carpet. This was before they did the baseboard. He was really into like these wrapped windows. I think it's because he didn't want to do window sills or window trim. I don't. It doesn't matter. I just have window trim and window sill stuff that I need to get rid of. But it is what it is. This is the granite countertops that I have with the sink. And fun fact, my cousin did not check the measurements I had that I had made from the kitchen, the old kitchen. He did not double check them. He's like, oh, they're probably fine. And so the my dishwasher barely fits in the cabinets. Hopefully I don't have to worry too much about that long term. I designed my kitchen myself. I know it's very like simple. It's very whatever. I like it. Um, if I could change one thing, I probably would have made more drawers. There's only one drawer in that whole entire kitchen. Anyways, this is what the house looked like before the second contractor put all the doors and stuff in. I kind of came in, took some pictures. Um, it looks nice here, but the floor in the kitchen is uneven because of the floor trusses. My cousin didn't know how to do them, so he just put the flooring down. There is a dip in the kitchen slash living room area. There is a dip. It feels like you're walking up a slight hill a little bit. Uh, the second contractor noticed that in the master bathroom. He fixed it. It cost me $8,000 for him to do that. $8,000 for him to like fix the floor. And I also had to buy cinder blocks and everything because he thought it was the floor trusses, which yeah, it could have been. But my cousin was just all set on having the floors be uneven, not having the house look nice at all. The second contractor at least tried. His drywall guys redid that beam where the ceiling fan is. Remember in the beginning of the video where it looked like crap? They redid that. I had to buy a different corner bead. I bought the metal kind. They sent me, hey, buy this specific kind. I'm like, okay, cool. Second contractor, I felt like he was a little bit expensive, but also my cousin gave me the cousin discount, which I think is whatever. I don't know if he actually gave me a discount at all. Maybe he did because of the whole house. But I had to pay the second contractor about 20 grand more than I paid my cousin. And that's why I had to get the HELOC. And I didn't want to, but I asked my mom to help, and she helped with what she could. So if my cousin had been such a scumbag and bailed out, I wouldn't have had gotten the HELOC. I would have been in a crappier version of the house I have now because his stuff was crap. I would have had uneven cabinets and everything. But whatever. It's done, but I'm struggling. But, we live, laugh, learn, right? Obviously, me saying my cousin is a scumbag is my opinion, but this is scumbag behavior. He did the typical contractor thing, wasn't there, wasn't showing up on time, everything's behind, and then he took the money and ran. I honestly, I don't think he wrecked his truck. I think he was lying. He was in over his head and he didn't know what to do. That's my opinion, and unless he provides medical records, I won't believe that he wrecked his truck. I only say that because he said he was in the hospital. Anyways, that's why this is such a hot topic for me, because I got betrayed by, again, someone that was family and someone that I grew up knowing, and we went to the same school together. And it's just hard. He always wants to say, oh, family's family, but this ain't family. I would have rather, if I could go back and do it again, I would have hired the second contractor. Because, yeah, he might have charged me a lot of money, but I don't know what he would have charged me originally. He might have came in, looked at the house, see how, horrible it was, and he might have been like, you know what, April, this house is pretty bad. I can give you a quote to demo it, and we could build you a brand new house on top of it. And we could give you a quote on that. I have this second contractor actually subcontracted. He had people. He brought people in. Yeah, I had to pay separately for those people, but that's how a contractor is. It's not, oh, I'm a handyman and I'm going to do everything myself so I could save some money on stuff. It like my cousin did. It's ridiculous. Hindsight, of course, is 2020. If even my cousin said, if I had known then what I know now, I would have told you to burn this house down. And I'm just like, okay, fair, but we're too far. I was so far in. I had to finish the job. Anyways, that's the whole video. Well, there's the rambling story of how this renovation went. The home is now cluttered with a whole bunch of my stuff that I brought from Georgia, but I'm slowly going through it, and I'll get it done. It is what it is. We live, laugh, learn, right? If you don't make mistakes, then you're not living, I guess. But hopefully the next big mistake doesn't cost me an arm and a leg or any financial stuff.